How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and welcome to another Rip-Offs video, this time being a little bit more of a special Rip-Offs video, as I will be counting down my top 10 worst Halloween animatronic rip-offs ever. Out of every single Halloween animatronic rip-off that has been released, or that I managed to find, I will be counting down the absolute 10 worst and most heinous rip-offs out of them all. Now, just before we get into it, I just want to apologize, as I know I did promise a ranking video of every single one, but that is way too big of an undertaking right now. With this little time left in the season, I just decided to do a simple top 10. It's possible that one day I will end up doing this ranking video, but right now there are like over 30, I believe, and it's just way too much work for me at this time. So, sorry about that, and I hope this top 10 does suffice, however, as I do think this should be good enough for you guys. But anyways, let's start counting down the top 10 worst Halloween animatronic ripoffs of all time. The 10th worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Rosemary ripoff. Here's the real thing, the actual Rosemary, and here's the ripoff. Man, is this one just terrible. Okay, so first of all, they couldn't even give her a brain to hold instead of the hand, because obviously they could just reuse a hand from another prop on it. And seriously, this one just looks so horrible. For one, you could literally see the base through the cloth. And I don't even know what the hell is supposed to be going on here. Like, is it supposed to be a zombie or not? It just is an amalgamation of reused Sunstar stuff. I'm pretty sure they just ripped that head straight off another one of their animatronics. That's actually kind of decent. It's this bride one, and it looks like they literally just plopped that onto a tiny little body holding that hand there. A seriously terrible Sunstar prop. Obviously, this is going to be one of the worst if it lands on this list. Just because it's number 10 does not mean it's good at all, of course. It's already worse than, what, the other 20 before it? So, yeah, this one is just absolutely horrendous. What a horrible animatronic. And the 9th worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time is the Grave Watcher, or Grave Mourner. I can't exactly remember. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, here is the ripoff. And what the hell is this thing? First of all, it's missing the thing that makes the Grave Mourner so awesome, which is the candles. It's not even holding those. They seriously could not even get those in. That's like the most important part of the prop. But anyways, this is a very blatantly obvious ripoff. They're not even trying to do anything different here. And also, why the hell is the face blue on this thing? And again, what the hell is that face? It looks like a baby doll. Like, what? This is just such a dumb and awful looking one. I just don't get what the hell is supposed to be going on here at all. It like is missing the essential parts of the prop, but at the same time just looks like such a completely bootlegged version, which is what it is, of course. But it's just so stupid looking. It's so bad. It really is. What a horrible, horrible prop here. Again, why is the face blue? What? Just, I'm not even going to question it anymore. Get this thing out of my sight. And the 8th worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Deadwood ripoff. Deadwood is a Spirit Halloween online-only prop. I forget exactly when it was sold. But anyways, here's the ripoff. And oh man, does this thing suck so much. So first of all, this thing is supposed to be a tree, right? But then why the hell does it have skeleton hands? Seriously, Sunstar, they are so lazy when it comes to making props, and this is obviously one of the best examples of that. It's a tree. Why does it have skeleton hands? And why does it have hands in general? Just have tree roots like the top of its head, or branches, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. I can't even tell. This is such a horrible looking tree. It's unreal how bad this thing truly looks. This is supposed to be a tree. I doubt really anyone could guess that on first glance. It is so stupid looking. Like, what the hell? And also, what the hell is the face? Are you kidding me? It looks like it's burnt or just has a load of white makeup on. This has to be one of the most horrendous looking Sunstar props for sure, and it is a sorry excuse for a tree, if that's what it's even supposed to be. I'm honestly confused if the people who make Sunstar props have ever seen a tree before, because this is probably one of the furthest looking things from it. And the 7th worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time is the Harvester ripoff. Here's the real thing. Techie Toys is the Harvester, and here's the knockoff. And oh man, what a butcherment of the original prop this is. This is truly, truly a terrible looking ripoff. For one, it just looks so weird. Why is the scythe gigantic? Like, what the hell is the proportions on this thing? And the thing that ruins it absolutely the most is giving it a skull head. Why? It's a scarecrow prop. Why ruin it with a skull head? What? It's so stupid looking. I'm pretty sure it's a tinier, smaller hanging prop, but still, what a butcherment of that awesome original scarecrow character from Techie Toys. Seriously, just absolutely horrendous, this one. Just completely shits all over the original prop, just being a complete butcherment of it, and I cannot hate it more. Seriously, absolutely horrendous. I hate this one. And the sixth worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Techie Toys Terror Clown ripoff, being this thing. Now this is pretty interesting because of course this is a tabletop prop being ripped off, which you really don't see all too often in terms of ripoffs. It mainly stays to life-size animatronics. So seeing a really great tabletop like the Terror Clown being ripped off and turned into this monstrosity just really boils my blood, considering this is honestly a really great tabletop prop. I have the Party City variant. This, of course, is mainly ripping off the Spirit Halloween variant with that awful baby doll head. I'm sorry, what the hell is that thing even supposed to be? It looks so laughably bad. It looks like it has the most smug expression on its face possible. I am just laughing so hard just looking at that. And also, what the hell happened to the knife? Why is it so tiny now? It looks like the size of a toothpick. Man, this is such a terrible ripoff. It's so funny though. That's what makes this one so great in my opinion, is because of how laughably bad this one is. And also the nose is literally just a tiny little cotton ball that was glued on. Man, this is seriously one of the worst ripoffs, but I have to admit it's probably one of the most funny. Now we reach the top 5, or I guess technically bottom 5, but the 5th worst ripoff of all time goes to the Zombie Boy Tire Swing ripoff, which is this abomination right here. Sometimes I forget about these older ripoffs and how truly terrible they are, but this is a prime example of an early ripoff and just how awful it is, and how the ripoffs certainly have not improved whatsoever over the years. But anyways, this is one of the original ripoffs that has been around for years now, and it's really only ramped up recently, but this thing is so horrible, it's not even funny. You take a look at the original Zombie Swing Tire Boy, or Tire Swing Boy, I keep messing that up. But that is such an incredible and highly detailed and gory prop. Then you look at this thing. It literally just looks like a normal doll in literally a plastic circle. It doesn't even look like a tire. It is so stupid looking, and I'm sure it is like 9 times smaller than the actual original prop too. There's no way this thing is actually sized proportionally. It just looks so ugly, so stupid. Man, this is a true abomination of that original incredible prop. It doesn't even look like a zombie, for crying out loud. What is this thing? And the 4th worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Techie Toys Jumping Spider ripoff. Yes, they even ripped off the Jumping Spider. I know, how could they? But anyways, here's this monstrosity right here. And yes, there's even a video of it. Thank God, because this really shows how awful this thing is. Parts of it literally break off as it jumps up. I mean, how is that even possible? I don't understand how cheaply made this stuff is, with it still even being able to jump scare in the first place. I mean, really. And also, this thing looks so tiny. It doesn't even look like it could be a full-size prop, for God's sakes. And it just looks so much worse than the original Jumping Spider as well. It looks super thin. The original Jumping Spider is really big. I mean, I don't think most people, unless you have it, realize how big those Jumping Spiders actually are. And this thing just looks so tiny, so thin, so cheap. It is a true monstrosity of that original classic prop right there. And I'm just super disappointed. This is something they should have just not touched, but even the Jumping Spider was not safe from being ripped off. The 3rd worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Peekaboo Penny ripoff, which is this thing right here. And this one is seriously just horrendous and a complete abomination of the original prop. For one, it loses literally the entire scariness of the original prop. But for one, the entire face mold just looks like a completely normal human being now, instead of that insanely scary, distorted face that Peekaboo Penny has. This is really just a mannequin head with some paint on it, like literally nothing else. Also, why is the hair red here? What? It looks like literally so cheap and just horrible. And also, this isn't even a full life-size standing prop. That's right, it was literally chopped in half in the body, and it's literally just a tabletop. And I don't even know how that makes any sense, considering it's supposed to be a full body prop. So what, the body's just cut in half, but it looks like it's just a blob on a table with it covering its face? Seriously, what a just absolutely horrendous prop. I mean, this is just truly a terrible, terrible ripoff. They completely ruined everything that is so great about the original prop. I seriously hate it. And the second worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Georgie ripoff from It Chapter 2. It's a Techie Toys prop, and here's the ripoff. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with this one if you saw my first ripoffs video this year, but this one is seriously just horrendous. So the strange thing about this one is that it's actually the first licensed character to be ripped off, at least I'm aware of, which is obviously very risky for Sunstar, considering the movie studios have a lot more power to sue and much better lawyers than any of the Halloween animatronic companies do. So I would not be surprised if one day they rip off something too close to an actual movie character and end up having to pay some serious consequences. But anyways, this thing is just a seriously horrendous Halloween animatronic. So first of all, of course, this is a tiny little tabletop, which doesn't make any sense. It's also missing the balloon, of course, too, which it obviously makes the prop complete, and it completely misses that, destroying the entire purpose of the prop, really. And also, there's no zombie face now. It's literally just another one of those horrendous doll faces. And what the hell is the blood? It honestly looks like poop stains on his yellow jacket. I'm not even gonna lie. This one is so bad. It's very laughably bad, too. And who knows, maybe they'll be sued over this one. I doubt it, though. But anyways, this one definitely deserves its spot second to the worst of all time. Now, let's take a look at the worst Halloween animatronic of all time. And the worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time goes to the Pumpkin Nester ripoff. Here it is, everybody. Words cannot describe and minds cannot comprehend the atrocity of what this thing is. This should be considered a war crime. I'm pretty sure we all agree about that. This thing is truly a complete disaster, and surely the most unholy Halloween animatronic ever created in any timeline ever. In all the multiverses that exist, there is no ripoff that will ever come close to being as bad as this one right here. This animatronic is a direct insult to God merely by it existing. It is truly an unfathomable sight to look at. It truly makes me sick to my stomach to even comprehend the thought process behind making this. Why? Why, I ask myself every time I look at this horrible abomination. This thing gives me an existential crisis every time I look at it. Because surely there is a hell, because that's where this thing came from, and I know for certain I'm going there. But anyways, this is for sure the worst Halloween animatronic ever created. Not even ripoff. In general, this is literally the bottom of the barrel. It does not get worse than this. And if some company actually manages to pull off a prop worse than this one right here, I will applaud them, because I did not think it's possible, and I still do not. But anyways, this has to be the worst, and without a doubt it is. It is so cheaply made, so horrible looking, and such an abomination of such an incredible animatronic. I hate this and despise it with all my heart. The worst thing about this for sure is its head. It is literally one of those foam heads you could buy at Michael's for like $10 and just painted over it. They didn't even like make this plastic. It is literally a foam head. How could you get more cheaper than this? I'm sure all of you agree with me here when I say this has to be the worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time, and probably the worst Halloween animatronic of all time. Sunstar, you never disappoint us when it comes to making absolute trash Halloween decorations. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list. I'm sorry once again that this wasn't the ranking video you guys were expecting, but again, it's just way too late in the season to start a project that big and get it done in time. But still, I hope you guys did enjoy this video regardless, and I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Let me know which is the worst Halloween animatronic ripoff of all time in your opinion. I'd love to hear that, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably going to agree with me with my number one pick. But anyways, once again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, this is Big Slave Pumpkin, signing out.